there and welcome to Gaining Vision. I'm Melanie. Have you had an opportunity to subscribe to the channel yet? If not, take a second, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to like and share. Mother, daughter, sister, bookworm, father, son, lazy. These are all words, but they're also called labels. Labels are easy to put on people, but they also ultimately shape who people are. Maybe not in the view of yourself, but in the view of others. It may be true. I may be a daughter and a sister and a wife, but that isn't make me who I am. We have to be careful with labels because they can be hurtful. And labels always start from a young age. Do you remember being on the playground, hearing that kid that always seemed a little bit out of place, a little odd, didn't have many friends, and big kids would pick on him, call him dummy or stupid? Or maybe it's in your own family, and there's the brain of the family, there's the popular one, or the girly girl, or possibly the brat. All of these labels that come out of nowhere, whether it's from a sibling, a parent, a friend, an aunt, an uncle, or even just a kid on the playground, can have huge ramifications in a child's life. Now, some labels are good labels. I always liked being the good daughter. And what I mean by that, I always did the right thing growing up. I was the eldest. I had to set a good example. My sister was the brain. She was brilliant. She never had to study. My little sisters, they're younger. They're cute, adorable, or whiny. You get my picture. All these labels help us as individuals shape who we think we are. As we get older, we then move into a profession. So whether it's a teacher, a policeman, a lawyer, our minds then shift gears that we have to become that person. That label now is us. It's not just that it's our profession, it's who we need to be. So we do everything in our power to be that person, whether that's working 80 hours a week when really truly only had to work 40. Just to prove a point, just to say you're good enough because you're trying to live up to that label. Maybe it's a character trait that people have labeled you with. The most famous one I get is stubborn. Yeah, okay, it's true. But that label is there, so everybody automatically thinks that I'm stubborn. Not always. In some situations, yes. But I shifted my mindset, and I looked at it as determined. I want to get things done. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do it, and nothing's going to get in my way. Some people say tomatoes. Some people say tomato. Some people say stubborn. I say determined. So the point is that if we're given these labels, we can shift the mindset. We don't have to live up to these labels. But it takes a lot of effort and trying to get past them. One thing, especially with individuals with disabilities, as children, if they get labeled at a young age with a learning disability, with having autism, or perhaps as a slow learner, that can really hinder them in their education all the way through, because their education records go through with them. They start to feel that they're not good enough, that the disability shapes who they are. And I was at that stage even as an adult when I acquired my disability. I was the blind girl. I was the girl that only had use of one hand. I was the girl in the wheelchair. But I wasn't looking at myself as the girl anymore. I was looking at myself as the disability. So we have to be careful not to label ourselves as well. Labels can be good in some ways when you're really successful. Being labeled a millionaire or a celebrity, those could be great, couldn't they? Not so much, because then other pressures get put on you. You have other responsibilities that you may not otherwise have without that label. So whether it's good or bad, labels should be avoided. You should be looking at people for who they are as an individual. They're going to have many gifts and talents, and there might be aspects to them that it would normally be a label, like a mother, a daughter, a sister, a son, father, friend. Those are characteristics of who you are, not a label. So we have to be careful not to label others. Seeing the person for who they are is a gift to all of us. Being able to see all of the multifacets that they have under their hat is also a great thing. It's wonderful to be talented, to have many strengths and talents. So if a woman is a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a wife, wow, that's incredible. But what if that woman isn't all of those things? Does that mean that she's not as incredible? No, of course not, because she's still an amazing human being. So by using labels, we hinder ourselves, we hinder others, so we need to avoid it. So how do we do that? Put those labels aside. Get to know the person by their name, by who they are, and get to know all of the gifts and talents they possess. By that, we'll not only fulfill a good friendship and possibly get to know somebody better, but then we'll also find ourselves not being as judgmental and not not putting people in certain boxes where they don't deserve to be. For individuals with disabilities, this is very important, whether it's a child, an adult, not to label them by their disability. Label them by their gifts and talents and their abilities. Do you label people? Do you label yourself? What are some of the labels you've been called? Has it shaped you? I bet it has. Take a step back. Look at yourself in the mirror and all the gifts and talents you have. And the person you are, not at the labels people put on you. This is a good lesson for us all to reflect on for the week, so please take some time, think about it, have a conversation with somebody in your family about it, because the more we talk about not labeling each other, the easier it'll become and the way it will become and shift mindsets in the world. Until next time, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share, and I'll catch you next time. See ya!